Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, life sentence for man found guilty of fatal stabbing at a bar in Portmore. St. Catherine resident Mark Brown, who fatally stabbed a man at a bar in Portmore almost 9 years ago, was today sentenced to life imprisonment and ordered to serve 8 years before becoming eligible for parole. Brown, 46, was sentenced by Justice Bertram Morrison in the St. Catherine Circuit Court. He was found guilty on June 8, 2023 of killing Clive Spencer, a 34-year-old laborer from Portmore, St. Catherine. Attorney-at-law Donald O'Brien, in addressing the court today, argued that there were elements of provocation in his client's actions and that the stabbing was not premeditated. It was a single stab wound that caused the deceased demise, Bryan said. In handing down sentencing, Justice Morrison ordered that Brown must serve 8 years, 3 months and 5 days before he will be eligible to apply for parole. Brown's sentence stems from an incident on March 29, 2016 in Brayton, Portmore, St. Catherine. The court heard from a witness that Brown and Spencer had an argument at the bar, during which Brown stabbed Spencer in the side and walked away. Spencer was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. An investigation was launched by the Portmore police, leading to Brown's arrest and the subsequent charge for murder. He made numerous court appearances before being tried and found guilty in 2023. Man killed in alleged shootout with police in Fort Stewart, St. Mary. A man was shot and killed by the police in Fort Stewart, St. Mary during an alleged confrontation on Thursday night. The deceased has been identified as 27-year-old Joseph Williamson, otherwise called Ryder of the community. The police reported that a gun was also seized. According to a police report, members of the operational support team were on foot patrol in the community shortly after 9 p.m. when they were attacked by 2 men, one of whom opened gunfire at them. The officers took evasive action and returned the fire. When the shooting subsided, one of the men was found suffering from gunshot wounds, while the other made good his escape in the area, said Anthony Wallace, acting superintendent of police for the St. Mary Police Division. He added the injured man was transported to the Anota Bay Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. According to the police, a 9mm Forjas Taurus SAP T92 AFS pistol, along with 3 live rounds, was recovered from the deceased. A search of the area was conducted, but the second man was not found. The St. Mary Police remain committed to ensuring the safety of residents and maintaining law and order. We urge anyone with information that can assist in this investigation to contact the Portmore Police at 876-994-2223, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station, Wallace concluded. The incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations. 18-year-old among 2 charged for Orange Street Kingston murder. An 18-year-old man and a woman have been charged for the November 2024 shooting death of a man with whom they had a dispute. Tyson Smith of East Queen Street and Johnny Porter, 18, of West Street, both in Kingston, have been charged in the killing of 28-year-old Chevon Dawkins of Wild Street, also in Kingston. The incident occurred along Orange Street in the parish on November 15 last year. They are charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. According to reports from the Kingston Central Police, around 3:15 a.m., Dawkins and a friend were traveling in a motor vehicle when Porter and Smith, who were in another vehicle, signaled him to stop. Dawkins complied after recognizing Smith and Porter, with whom he had a verbal altercation earlier, police said. Porter then brandished a firearm, pulled Dawkins to the back of the vehicle, and opened fire, hitting him multiple times before fleeing the scene, according to the police report. Dawkins was transported to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. An intensive investigation and witness statements led to the arrest and the subsequent charging of the duo. Their court date is being finalized. Case against the man charged for murder of Slickianna delayed due to incomplete file. The case against Rashawn Patterson, who is accused of the October 2022 murder of social media influencer Anika Slickianna Townsend, was delayed in the St. James Circuit Court today because the file is incomplete. The court was told that an extraction report from the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Communication Forensics and the Cybercrime Unit, statements from a Justice of the Peace, and a chain of custody statement are currently outstanding from the file. It also heard that the investigating officer is on a training course. The case was put off to October 15, and the Patterson's bail was further extended by Presiding Judge Justice Judith Pusey. Patterson's lawyer, Dion Miller, also asked for her client's white Toyota Fit motor car to be released to him from the custody of the police. However, Pusey instructed her to make that application in writing. Patterson was arrested on November 2, 2022 during a high-level police operation after Townsend's body was found floating in the sea in Reading, St. James on October 21 that year. A post-mortem examination on November 5 determined that Townsend was strangled, and Patterson was formally charged with her murder on November 11. According to police reports, Townsend had traveled from Kingston to Montego Bay on October 20, 2022 and was later picked up by Patterson, following which they traveled to a restaurant in Hanover and a guest house in St. James. During that night, an argument developed between the two, following which Townsend was strangled and her body disposed of. Double murder rocks at Greenwood. A Canadian man and a woman were shot and killed during a home invasion in the St. James community of Greenwood Thursday night. The deceased have been identified as 61-year-old Clayton Cook of Cassie Avenue in Toronto, Canada, and the 37-year-old Jem Cook, a cashier of Tortuga Drive in Greenwood. Reports from the police are that about 8:10 p.m., the two individuals were at their house on Tortuga Drive when they were pounced upon by unknown assailants who opened a gunfire hitting them. The gunmen then escaped in a waiting motor car. The police were subsequently summoned by residents who had heard the explosions, and upon their arrival, Clayton was found slumped against the gate while the woman was seen lying face down. They were both taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Detectives assigned to the St. James Criminal Investigation Branch are continuing their investigations into the matter. Selector among two men facing gun-related charges. A selector is among two men charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition following an incident at a toll gate Clarendon on Monday, January 27. Charged are 22-year-old Javon Brown, otherwise called the Pitbull, of Willow Close, Portmore Pines, St. Catherine, and 33-year-old Ricardo McKenzie, a selector of Tollgate, Clarendon. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 3:45 p.m., lawmen acting on information executed a search warrant at a house occupied by Brown and McKenzie. A .38 Taurus pistol containing 5 live rounds was found in a wardrobe in the bedroom occupied by McKenzie. Both men were subsequently arrested and taken into custody. On Tuesday, January 28, both men were jointly charged following a caution statement. They are scheduled to appear before the Clarendon Parish Court on Friday, January 31. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.